Yo, YouTube. Today, I seen this video. I don't get soul leveling. Now, I mean, if you're new here, you know we have defended soul leveling a couple of times already. And I feel like we're just going to add another one to the list here today. But let's see what he's talking about. Nobuo Koa.
Solo leveling is so insanely big, and I don't know why. Sure, the original manhwa has a cult-like following, and many fans of the manhwa would only naturally shift over to the anime adaptation, but it has transcended that. There are so many fans who swear by the anime, people who haven't even seen the original, and I just don't get why. I really just don't. So this video will be of me expressing my personal thoughts and feelings about the show, and
Alright, before we even get started, I have like an analogy that I love to compare solo leveling to. And if you've been around this channel, you know it by now. You probably already know what I'm gonna say. But solo leveling is dead ass the John Wick of anime, right? John Wick is a super popular action movie. But what is the story? The only characters you know in John Wick is John Wick. You go to the movie theaters and watch John Wick for the action. That is exactly what solo leveling is. I don't get why that's hard to explain. Or well, if that's hard to understand, but I feel like I might say it again later in this video. But like that is my biggest thing about solo leveling, and I don't get how people don't understand that. It's like people, it's like people love to watch things that are just action packed. That's why anime got so popular in the first place, because most of the shonen anime are just action packed. There's fights everywhere. Like, the crazy story animes typically aren't even the most popular ones. So it's like that's just how it goes.
the questions, why is it so popular? And is it even that good? If you come to agree with me, come to learn something new, or just enjoy a madman's rambling, leave a like and subscribe. It helps a lot. Also, if you have a genuine answer for my questions, please let me know in the comments. This isn't me just flaming a show. If it's that popular, there must be a reason, and I just don't get it yet. I think it's safe to say that we all already know what the show is. In a world where magic portals to a different dimension start to arise without a known catalyst, a very small subsect of people choose to explore these mysterious places to fight bosses and excavate some important rock. These daredevils are called hunters, and our protagonist, Sung Jin-woo, is cursed with the curse of being the weakest of them all. And unfortunately for him, there is no improvement because in this world, everyone is stuck to their skill levels when they first awaken their abilities. And this was all said in the first episode through shitty exposition dumping. So for me, it started off weak. And also, I don't get why he chooses this career path. Sure, the ceiling is high to how much he can make, but the floor is also very low, and he is perpetually to be stuck on that floor. If you're destined by the gods above to be the single worst at a job forever, I don't know why you would do that. He should just get a job in IT or medical or literally anything else. And it does end up working out for him in the end, but why would he even continue that path without knowing so?
I don't know. I feel like when people like question things that happen in anime, like why a character is doing certain things, it's like you're reaching, bro. Like I feel like you're reaching, bro. It's just the way that the author designed the story. You don't need to go in there and try to put logic, nigga. It is fucking anime, bro. It's like if everyone watched anime like that with every shonen, nobody would like any anime because 9 out of 10 times in anime, the most logical thing is not being done. So, like, if you walking into an anime and that's your first take on what you're seeing, it's like you're just setting yourself up not to like it, bro. And that's with anything. If you go watch anything and that's the logic behind it, that's just how you're not gonna like it. You're not gonna like it.
Also, another small thing is that he can definitely still work out, get bigger muscles, become more athletic, train in martial arts, and do many other things that would help him in being a hunter. So, unless all of that are out of the question, which it definitely isn't, there's no reason for him to not be doing those. You might be thinking, oh, but you can't improve any of your stats, but the thing is, you can. People still go to school to improve their intelligence. There are benefits.
Bro, you realize he's already smart? Like this is what I get. This is what we gotta understand about people that make these type of videos. It's like they don't understand what they watch, so this is how they get to the conclusions that they get to. If you're paying attention in the first 2 episodes, we are already shown that Sanjin Woo is smarter than 9 out of the 10 people that he was in that situation with. He was the smartest person in the goddamn room. He's the only reason they all survived. Not all of them, like majority of them survived. So like, come on, bro. It's like we're cherry picking things that do not need to be cherry picked. Like, can we find like the actual reasons you don't like the show instead of like little things that don't contribute to the problem at all?
To being a veteran, you do get better at it and understand more things the more you do it. There are also people we see in the show training in martial arts, which if you can improve, there's no point in doing. So you can 100% improve certain stats. Just go pick up a dumbbell and your strength stats would go up, so unless there is an otherworldly being stopping any and all types of improvement, which there isn't, I don't know why he can't do this. All he does in the beginning is swing a knife at a goblin, which would definitely be more effective if you get stronger and learn the right technique, but I digress. After Jinwoo goes into the dungeon with a crew, some shit happens, which I will not get started on because I don't want to just get stuck on this stupid plot point. Though I will say one thing. All of the shit that he says using his intellect to figure out the dungeon is either complete bullshit that he has no way of knowing, or the painfully obvious. But the important thing is that he ultimately gets his power. The power is a simple one, to be able to improve his stats through a video game UI. The first thing that I didn't really like is the whole video game thing. It's really typical and has very little depth. He unlocks new skills and improves points in a very linear and quite boring way. Sure, it is satisfying to see the results when he fights a new bigger bad, but the progression in itself, the whole point of the show that is so important that it is even in the name, is frankly lame. One of the things that make it this lame is the bad world building of the world and the system. Firstly, the world is just a pretty lame, I can't believe it's not isekai world. It has some pretty cool stuff and people, but the world itself is kinda flat.
I mean, the world is just Earth. What are we talking about? It's not like they're in a whole nother world that like it could be built like it's fucking One Piece or something. The motherfuckers are on Earth, bro. What are you talking about? The only thing that they could give depth to the world is in the dungeons, which we got kind of cool depth. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? We got hella cool depth when he goes into the dungeon and he's going down all those 100 levels and we see all those different places. Yes, they haven't been elaborated on quite yet, but like I feel like the way that they left it all off, we'll probably get more of it later. But like there's plenty of cool places and things that they can build on, bro. But like you're talking about this like this whole is One Piece and it's a world that we don't know, bro. This shit is Earth.
World and it has portals. That's it. But the game system thing is also pretty lame. This is because it can do anything and everything. He constantly gets new shit that is really convenient and it doesn't really ever feel like he is in genuine peril. What's cool in a magic system is never what the magic can do, but always what it can't. Seeing the limitations of it and seeing how the main character can get over it is so much more intriguing than just seeing a guy beat shit up.
All right, here's the issue I think you have. I think you think like solo leveling is Attack on Titan, and there's 50 billion things behind everything that they show you. No, Attack on Titan, not Attack on Titan, solo leveling is a simple storyline. And the reason why people watch it is just the same reason why they watch Don Wick. So you're beating yourself up going into solo leveling thinking they're about to have a billion goddamn things to show you, bro. The main thing you're going to solo leveling to watch is the cool fights. Do they have it? You already answered the question. You already said that the fights are hype. The fights are cool. So that's why it's so popular. It's just like anything else, bro. Think of like people that play fucking looter shooters. What's the most popular one? Borderlands. I might not personally enjoy Borderlands. I might think it's boring. You're running around, you're running, shooting. It's the same thing. But for the people that like that type of action, the game does it great. And that's what solo leveling is. For the people that enjoy action and straight hands, it does it immaculately. It's such a simple thing with solo leveling. And y'all go in there and nitpick it to the finest details every time. And that's where y'all lose me. It's like, why are we doing this? Like, when did anime become like a goddamn fucking everyone is a goddamn world-class critic, bro? Y'all gotta stop it. Put down the pens and papers, bro, and just enjoy shit.
Character must struggle, which in all fairness, Jinwoo does a fair bit of, but we also need to see organic growth. I want to see his character also grow as his powers do. I don't want to see just some overpowered guy, which is sadly this show. His powers, which are supposed to be shown growing, are more often than not radical shifts and jumps in levels rather than organic growth. Even what is supposed to be character growth isn't really growth. Even that is just a shift or a sudden flip. See, there are two Jinwoos in this show. The first one is a typical weak no character pro tag, and the second one is a typical edgy no character OP pro tag. I want to get this out of the way. It is so incredibly dumb that everything changes around him, including his height, hair, and jawline. But even this isn't a natural progression, it's a random shift in his body accompanied by a drastic shift in strength. A much better example of growth in this style is Shangri-La Frontier.
Like, I mean, here's the thing. Like, that's the whole goddamn point. Like, it's like, are we watching this? Are we watching? Do we be watching the same anime? That's the point of solo leveling. It's the shifts, bro. It's not a gradual thing where he goes into a dungeon and increase one level every dungeon he goes into. You in the first half of the anime, in the first 12 episodes, you see that he gets radical changes. I mean, if that's not something you like, I mean, I don't know, bro. It's not that big of a deal. Honestly, I don't see how that's a big of a deal.
Where we see Raku get shit on a bunch of times, and finally only after endless trial and error does he succeed. That has to do with video games, and it shows video game-like progression, but it feels so much more natural because we see him grind, we see him struggle.
Yeah, and I can tell you this, the pacing in Shangri-La Frontier is 5 times worse than the pacing in solo leveling. And this is someone who's all the way caught up with the show. There was plenty of times where I stopped watching Shangri-La Frontier because they were doing some lore, explaining, grinding shit that I found boring at the time. But why did I watch it? Because the action was great. Do I care? Do I care for the ride and the story of him grinding as much? No, I watch it for the action. This is the same reason why I watch solo leveling. So it's like, if you're watching the show just for the grind, I can see why you don't like it. But then again, like, that's not what solo leveling is. That's what Shangri-La Frontier is. That's why you think it's better in that front, because that's exactly what Shangri-La Frontier is meant to be, and it does that.
For anyone who's played an RPG style game, you know that the most enjoyable times are around the middle end of the story, where you are definitely strong but still struggle. When you are too weak, it's boring and lame. But when you are in the post-game and can beat everything with fair ease, it also loses some of that allure. It's the same here. Make him grind. I don't mean doing 2 dungeons and 100 push-ups, I mean really make him work for it. Slow it the fuck down. But, you know, I criticize the show for not showing character growth, but that might be less than fair. They don't even have a character to undergo that said growth. Jinwoo is not a character. He is as bland as it gets. I don't get this trend of making the power fantasy pro tags always just blank canvases. I get wanting to make the character relatable, but there's a problem with that. People, real people, have personalities that aren't just Jinwoo or Kirito. And also, the big shonens that always do well have eccentric characters with outgoing and very defined personalities. Luffy, Goku, Ichigo, Yuji, Senku, I can list forever. But Jinwoo has so little going for him. He has the motive of wanting to help his mom, and that's it. That is the only—
I mean, you're comparing like basic shonens, like you're comparing shonens to a power fantasy anime. Like, of course, they're completely different, bro. Like, you get to watch a character literally start from the bottom of the barrel and go all the way up. You've already said that that's not what solo leveling is. So, like, why are you surprised that the main character is different? People like a character like Sun Jin-woo because he's cool. And that's literally what he does, bro. He's literally the definition of a cool character. He's always ore farming. He's always doing like fucking cool shit. That's why people like Sun Jin-woo. You don't have to have the craziest personality to be a likable character. And clearly that is a factual statement because how popular Sun Jin-woo is as a character. So it's like sometimes y'all just gotta take a character how they come. If you don't like it, I understand it. But like to like always compare them to the next character, like it's not a good system to have, bro. It's not. Like, understand the character for what he is. If you don't like it, understandable. but like try to understand it.
only bit of character we get. I'd even argue that someone like Kazuya from Rent a Girlfriend has
Hell no. Hell no. I almost want to slap you on the back of your face for even bringing up this nigga name, bro. What?
more of a personality than him. His personality
More of a personality, yes. A better character? Hell the fuck no. Just because you got more personality as a character, what does that mean? Like, you think you could put just the most popular, the most personality on a character, and that just makes them a good character? Absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely the fuck not, bro. That's not how it
is
works.
that he is a whiny, bitchy asshole that no one likes, but it's still more than Jinwoo. But most characters in this genre are whiny, bitchy assholes that no one likes, so I don't really know if this is necessarily a bad thing for Jinwoo, as I'd much rather have no personality than an infuriating one, but this is definitely not a good thing. The side characters do tend to have more of a character, but they're not fleshed out at all as they play the part of Jinwoo's entourage. They are background characters, which sucks because the main character is nothing as well. And the characters aren't the only things that are nothing. The whole video game shit is just as substanceless. The whole magic system. I briefly mentioned this, but it's so lame. He has a UI and he has stat boosts. The magic isn't really a big part and it's nothing special. Cool. He has a Sombra invis. Cool, he has some other shit, but they don't flow together in a way that's—
Do you hear what you're saying? Cool. 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 That is the whole point of solo leveling, bro. The fact that you think, like, I mean, even if it's sarcastic, the fact that you're saying it, that's exactly what solo leveling is meant to be. Like, I might say it 5 more times, but like, you're deep diving into a show that's not meant to be deep diving into. Like I don't get how to explain it to you any more basic than that, bro. Like,
interesting. He has so many tools in his arsenal, and still none of them really have any synergy. A huge tip for magic systems is to not only build laterally. Don't constantly find new shit. Don't have a huge pool of different magics. Make the ones you already have deep. Luffy's Gum Gum Fruit is a good example of this. Luffy has a very simple power of being rubber, but he finds so many ways to utilize it differently. Stretching body parts back to gain speed, using it to pump blood faster, compressing it rather than stretching it to make a spring effect, blowing it up like a balloon. And when Haki is introduced, he just reinforces most of his already existing aspects. Gear 4 is the combination of Haki and the compression aspect, and when Gear 5 is introduced, he finally gets a different set of powers after such a long time. And even that, I struggle to call it an entire new ability, as it still has to do with his pre-existing powers. Naruto has 2 jutsus, but he figures out ways to make it better. More clones in more creative ways. The Rasengan, reinforcing it with elemental—
bro, Naruto got more than 2 jutsus, big dog. I don't know how to... Come on, bro. Look, I'm not even gonna get there. I get your point. Like I said, you're comparing basic shonens to a power fantasy. That the reason why we watch shonens is for that growth, for the main character to innovate on their basic abilities. That's exactly why we watch it. Solo leveling is not a basic shonen, bro. And maybe this is where you're confused. Maybe you're going into solo leveling thinking this is goddamn Naruto 2.0. It is not. It is a completely different thing, bro. And like you've already said it multiple times. That's why I'm confused. It's like, how do you say this and then still be confused about what you're saying? It doesn't make sense.
energy, reinforcing it with natural energy. I can go on and on with magic systems like that, but I'll move on. Jinwoo just has a wide variety of things to use in the most simple and most uninteresting—
which is great for solo leveling. Because you know what I want to watch? I don't want to watch Sun Jinwoo use the same ability to defeat every single boss. I'm coming to watch action. I'm coming to watch Sun Jinwoo beat a main character and do it in style every single time. So if they give him a out of the fucking ass ability that works to defeat the boss but it's cool, nigga, that is exactly what I signed up for. What are we talking about? That's exactly what I signed up for. That is solo leveling is doing exactly what they need to be doing with Sanju. Like, I don't get how you don't understand it.
ways. He has a cool sword, he has invis, he has stat boost powers, he gets his Arise later on. It's all just really uninteresting in my opinion.
I'm not gonna lie, Arise is not uninteresting. Arise is not uninteresting. Name a character that has anything like Arise. Closest thing you can tell me it's fucking Kabuto reanimation jutsu, and that's just not even anywhere close to the same. That is like something that is kind of fucking new to the whole scene of action anime. No one has something like a Rise, bro. Like, keep it a buck. It just say you don't like it. Don't say it uninteresting though, because it's not uninteresting.
What I would have liked to see is a few powers that really get looked into deeper. Another big component of world building that I would like to have seen is to make it realistic. Now, obviously, portals to different worlds are as far from realistic as it gets. Complete realism is boring. That is stuff like going to work, coming home to your cat, drinking a beer, and going to bed. What I mean is that nothing ever has any consequences. It being a different dimension, and with everything that happens in it staying in it, literally anything can happen.
What? Like, what are you talking about? Nothing has consequences. Are you not? Have you not watched? Are you not caught up to the show? Nigga, if they don't kill, bro, if they don't kill Beryl on that goddamn island, we seen the consequences that was gonna happen. It's just cause Sanjin Woo goes in there and stop the consequences from happening doesn't mean that it wouldn't have happened beforehand. That's the whole point of his character. He's the strongest person in the verse. He's put there to stop the things from happening to happen. So it's like they built up all the consequences throughout the whole season. You see exactly what's gonna happen. We see the ants murdering niggas, and they say it plenty of times. If the ants get over to this place, no one's gonna be able to do anything about it. They say it plenty of times. So what do you mean no consequences? Hello?
Big or small thing, and it has zero lasting impact. After a big battle or something of a grand scale, there should be some lasting impacts on the world, but this just doesn't have that. Whether it's the government doing more or less.
Look. We can't speak on lasting impacts on the world because we don't know what happened after he killed Biru. We don't know exactly what's gonna happen after that. So you can't. That's not even a good point. We're not finished. We're nowhere close to the end of the story to even know if there's lasting effects on what just happened in the show. Not a good point at all.
Because something specific happens, or monsters leaking and actually doing something, or having the regular civilians change their way of life, I want to see lasting effects. Because as of right now, that is really similar to just boring old Korea. Nothing different from when I used to live there. Sure, there are hunters, but that's such a small part of the world as a whole, and with no lasting impacts from the portals being there, it doesn't feel any less tense and fascinating than just walking down mundane old downtown Korea. The gold standard for world building in anime would be One Piece, and its world.
See, and this is your goddamn problem. I already explained what, like, you're comparing this power fantasy anime that's based on goddamn Earth to a completely brand new place that you never seen a god that has 1,000 fucking episodes to be built up, bro. Like, what is wrong with you motherfuckers, bro? Like, it's like y'all try to make these points, but y'all don't realize the connections that y'all make them worthless. Like, why are you comparing the world of fucking Solo Leveling to the world of One fucking Piece, bro? Are you fucking dumb? Like, this what are we doing?
It's so intriguing because shit actually happens. When something big happens, there are big repercussions. We are kept thinking about what more can exist and what more can happen because of said thing. We are always thinking about how the government would retaliate to the Straw Hats' victories. Now, it doesn't have to be as grand as that.
Completely two different storylines. Completely two different storylines. Not a singular thing in common. The thing that is in common with One Piece and Solo Leveling is how popular they are. They have nothing else in common. Like, why are we drawing this comparison, bro? Like, you got a better comparison comparing this shit to fucking Sword Art Online. Then you might have some weight to what you're saying. But One Piece, like, that gotta be one of the worst comparisons of all time.
And subtle, because Solo Leveling's world is just a tad bit more realistic with the setting of the world. So
a tad bit more realistic, nigga. How is being on Earth a tad bit more realistic than being in a completely different place that's completely fictional, bro? What are we talking about?
For Solo Leveling, it can be something like people keeping monster weapons to defend themselves, people dressing differently.
Why would someone keep a monster weapon to defend themselves? That's not how the power system works. That weapon will literally be useless. Are you watching the goddamn anime? Why would a non-hunter keep a hunter weapon? They can't even fucking use it. That's like having the stats having the class of a mage in a MMO, and you trying to pick up a fucking dagger. Nigga, you can't pick that shit up. It's not in your class. What the fuck are we talking about, bro?
People actually using the magic stones they are harvesting for new advanced technology, having new jobs for civilians, like, I don't know, a magic stone power plant or something. There are so many ways to show that.
Bro, like, what are these complaints, bro? Like, we gotta be realistic. Like, why are we like the things you're complaining about? We gotta do better, bro. Dead ass, we gotta do better.
Impacts of the portals, which would be pretty big deals, but as of right now, the only change made to the world is that
And you're talking about careers. They literally do that. At the beginning of Solo Leveling, we see this nigga San Jin Woo take a job as fucking harvesting crystals. Nigga, that's a job. What are we talking about? That literally just debunked that sorry ass point right there. Like, what are you talking about?
there's a new single job, and the monsters sometimes leak through, but don't really do much. They could have made it so much better so easily, which is why I'm honestly kind of disappointed here. But, you know, I also have to give this show some credit. It is one of the better power fantasy bullshit anime. I'd even say that it's one of the best. The animation and art are great. They actually give a shit about the fight.
It is the best power fantasy bullshit anime, because there's not another power fantasy bullshit anime pulling out the stocks and stops that fucking Solo Leveling is in the fights. Name me one. There's not one. Shangri-La Frontier fights are cool. They are not on Solo Leveling. They are not on Solo Leveling tier at all, bro. Nowhere close.
It seems the character isn't completely insufferable. He doesn't have a massive entourage consisting of 4 pairs of tits with no personalities. The magic makes some sense. It does things well relative to others. The problem with that is that most others in the genre are so incredibly dogshit that it doesn't take a lot to be better than it. Like, these shows, I swear, they all just have 4 middle to high schoolers just get blackout drunk and go with whatever stupid thing they say first. Bro, imagine if like if I was like God, dude. Like I just had God.
I think the problem you're having with this is you don't like power fantasy animes, which is fine. You don't gotta like every genre on the earth, bro. You don't gotta like it. But the whole point of power fantasy animes is literally exactly what you're describing. A character fucking bullshitting his way through the world. It is not meant to be a 10 out of 10 storyline. It's not meant to have 15 billion developed characters. That's not what it's meant to be. And if you go on my anime list, all the scores will reflect that. To 9 out of 10 power fantasy anime you watch, they're not going to have good ratings because people think exactly like that. It's something that is consumed for people that like to just sit back and watch fights or sit back and watch anything. But the reason why Solo Leveling is so popular is because on the fights side of the spectrum, the meter is all the way maxed out. You know those little charts like on Dispatch, how you try to max out a character? The action is all the way maxed out on Solo Leveling. That's exactly why it's popular, bro. That is the exact reason. That's all you gotta understand, bro. It's not hard.
Powers. And tits. I want tits. Tits, yeah. Tits. Tits. I want to fuck my older sister, my mother. I want tits. And I also want tits on like big tits on like a child. Well, they're not a child, but they're actually like 1,000 years old. This show, at best to me, is an average, not too good, not too bad video game isekai wannabe. I think there's certainly its fair share of faults, but also has many cool tense moments. And let me just say that the cool moments are cool as hell. It's a
It's like I love when videos prove my point to the T every single time, bro. I think you think this is Attack on Titan or something, bro. I don't get it, bro. It's like
constant farm of the coolest blank slate ever, doing cool shit and racking up aura points.
The
It's
exact
hype as
point.
hell too, and I see
The
why it can
exact
be fun
point.
for so many, but the moment you look deeper, not even necessarily
I see why it could be so fun for so many. So like, how don't you get it then? And you're about to say the second you look deeper, it's bad. That's the problem. You're not supposed to look deep, bro. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of the show, bro. Like you niggas be analyzing shit too much, bro. That's the problem. Like go look deep at John Wick. There's not gonna be much. It's a simple story with a simple character. The only reason you go there is to watch that nigga beat some ass. Same thing with Solo Leveling, bro. But you will never hear someone complaining about John Wick talking about it's not deep. You will never hear that a day in your fucking life.
Necessarily deep, just past the surface level, a lot of things start to fall apart. The magic system, the lack of any world building.
No, they don't fall apart. They're perfectly fine. You just don't like them. The magic is perfectly fine. It works for solo leveling. The characters are perfectly fine. They work for solo leveling. But since you're digging so deep in there and you're trying to find substance, you're trying to find things that's wrong with the anime, they don't qualify for you. That's the only thing. That's the only thing here.
The lack of characters. This show doesn't say a lot about society, it's not a deep commentary on some big problem in the world, and I'm not saying that it has to be. There are many shows that are just feel-good, lighthearted fun shows that require little thinking. Shangri-La Frontier, which I've already mentioned earlier, is just as much of a power fantasy as this one, except that show has world building, characters, interesting motives for the characters, a cool magic system, and so much more. I know that not every show has to have a super deep meaning, but some things are absolutely necessary, and sadly, solo leveling.
Those things are not necessary. By far, they are not necessary, bro. Did you start watching anime 1 year ago? These things are not necessary at all.
Lacks a lot of it. So, I'm genuinely confused as to why this show got so much praise. Don't get me wrong, it's cool as hell, many moments are hype and fit to go viral, but it's just not that good. To even have moments that are meaningful.
Bro, the moments write themselves, bro. They write themselves every time.
Memorable, you need some of these things as prerequisites, but this show just doesn't bother. This show to me is like junk food. Sure, it's pretty good for the price. I'm sure you can eat better for the price nowadays, but it's relatively cheap. It's relatively good and simple.
I don't get how you know it, but like you're still trying to make this point, but like you feel it's like you know that like, oh, this is the point, but it's like there's something missing, and I just gotta grasp at every straw that I can, because like I see what solo leveling is, but I just it's just something there that you gotta get. I don't know, bro. It's like this is like if you understand solo leveling is junk food, then like go ask why McDonald's is one of the most popular most popular fast food places of all time. Go ask that question. It's the same goddamn thing, bro. Like if you understand the simple basics, then you will understand why solo leveling is so popular. It is so simple, bro. And it's like you understand it, but you're denying it. It's like you don't believe it's true or something, bro. It's like you're in the 5 stages of grief or something. I don't get it.
It's not worth shitting yourself over. McDonald's and solo leveling are not the greatest things to ever exist. You can, pretty much
everybody would agree with that statement. I don't think no one would disagree with that statement. Who is disagreeing with that statement?
Go to most other restaurants and find a meal just as good, if not better. If I ask someone what their favorite food is, they may say a good New York style pizza, or a smash burger, a nice ass medium rare steak, sushi, or whatever else. But if you say McDonald's, I would think, okay, cool, you're free to like whatever, but really? So why are we free?
It's like you're missing the point. Once again, you understand the premise, but it's going straight over your head. I just said it. McDonald's is one of the most popular restaurants of all time. And you just made the correlation yourself. How can you not connect the dots? It's not about it being the best thing ever. It's about it being good for what it does. That's one of the reasons why McDonald's is one of the most popular places of all time. It's good for what it does. Fast food, quickly, that is good for most people. That it's good. That's why it's popular. That's what solo leveling is. You have the correlation, you just don't want to connect the dots. It's baffling. It's right there. You literally just wrote it. You wrote it, you made a whole video about it, you edited it, and you still can't connect the dots. It's fascinating.
geeking out over this show, it leaves me so confused. I get Frieren and its hype, I get Dandadan, I don't get this one. When I first saw the announcement, I thought that it would do fairly well. I mean, the art looks cool, but it wouldn't be anything earth-shattering. And yet, here we
Yeah, I think you might just like not be smart in the brain if you thought solo leveling wasn't gonna do well. One of the most hyped up things to ever come out of fucking 2020s in general. What the fuck are we talking about?
stand today with solo leveling as one of the
This
highest
this shit was hyped up even before anime even got fucking released, even before it got teased. Almost everybody, bro. If you were on webtoons, if you were on manhwas, even a regular manga reader, you heard about solo leveling, bro. The fuck are you talking about?
animes of the year. Anyways, there you have it. My name is Nobuo Okoa. Maybe I'm just really jealous of how cool people like Jinwoo and Ayana Koji are, leading me to trash their show. And thank you for watching.
I think you just have like a personal deep problem with solo leveling and like I don't know what it is, but like you gotta let go because you see the connection, you understand why it's popular, but you just don't want to give it the credit it deserves, which is baffling. But I mean, just like next time you watch solo leveling, like just put your feet up. Stop thinking so hard, bro. It's not a think hard anime, bro. It is literally you go in there, you watch, you see a smash top 10 fight, and you go about your day. So you like the video? You'll like this one too. Go ahead and click on that. Yeah. You're still here? So you don't fuck with me? Alright, I'ma just.